Today we are eating as many possible things as we can eat from this apple tree, and we're only reading books that are related to apples. Is this my most unhinged video idea yet? Yes. Am I incredibly excited? Also yes. Here, I got this one for you. Good morning. I have our first apple concoction. It looks really, really good. I will leave all of the recipes in the description. Just know for this one, I mixed it up for one person. I was hoping this would be enough for both Dan and I, but this is definitely not enough oats. So we have to go make him some more after we try this. Okay, there's your first bite. It's good. It's really nice. The apples are nice and sweet and soft. I really like the cinnamon in here. And it's sweet, but it's not too sweet. I'm gonna give this like a 7 or an 8 out of 10. This was really, really good. As I've been getting ready and cooking this morning, I have started reading Black River Orchard by Chuck Wendig. This is a really long horror book. I didn't realize how long it is. The audiobook is like 22 hours long. We had not one, but 2 prologues and a chapter 0. So we had a lot of background. We're following a lot of different people, and we're all centered around this orchard. And so far, the horror is more like people think things are horrifying, but they're not. Like, there was this little girl. She thought there was this finger that fell out of this bag and it was an apple core. And there's like some flashbacks to things that may have happened in the past for one of our other characters, but we're following mainly this father and daughter duo and these 2 women who are married to each other. I'm gonna eat this and keep listening, and I'll see you guys later. I have 2 updates for you. Update number 1. A body has been found in my book. And update number 2, we are going to go to the store on a little adventure to go pick up some ingredients for tonight. And there's an apple tree at the store, so I'll take you with. I feel like I am enjoying the book so far, but I feel like we just keep getting passed around to all of these different perspectives that I'm having a hard time being grounded in any one of them. Literally anytime I'm like, oh, this perspective is getting interesting, I'm curious, I want to learn more, we like bounce around to another person. It's making the characters cringier than they are because I'm not able to spend enough time with them. There's a million perspectives in this. I'm getting the dad's perspective, I'm getting the daughter's perspective, I'm getting a cat's perspective. Like, there's a lot of things going on here. But there are apples in every perspective, so at least that's good. Let's go get the rest of our ingredients. Okay, we're back from the store. We have our provisions, starting with some lovely bread. I made a ham last night. It was beautiful. And we're gonna make an apple cheddar ham sandwich. Got a few slices of this lovely ham on here topped with 2 chunky pieces of cheese. We're gonna put this in the broiler for a little bit and get it all melty. It looks so good. To top it, I have our top bread with Dijon and cranberry jam. But before we put that on, obviously we need the apples. So let's get these on here. With a big sandwich. Okay, here she is. Let's give her a try. That might be one of the best sandwiches I've ever had. That's exceptional. The honey cinnamon of the ham goes so well with the apple, which goes so well with the melty cheddar. But then you have the tang of the mustard to cut through it all, and there's a little sweetness from the cranberry, a little tartness from the cranberry. It all works so well together. There's a lot of flavors in there, but I think it's really good. I toasted the bread a little bit in the toaster, but I think next time I would do it in a pan so it got kind of charred and super crunchy, but the apples give me enough crunch that I don't miss it too much. So good. Cookies are ready. They look so good. The dough is very wet, so I hope they come out. I'm kind of letting them have bedhead. I don't feel like flattening them into any sort of uniform shape, but I thought we could try the batter together. That's really good. Yum, those are gonna be incredible. Oh, I'm so excited. I've been wanting cookies for a long time. Second thing for you, the book is getting really good. I'm really enjoying it. At the beginning, it felt like whiplash between all these perspectives, but now that things are very intriguing in each one of them, it feels like there's no lag, because I might have a slow chapter from one perspective, but then I'm right in the action for another one. About 25% of the way into it now. There's some things in it that are like a little very modern. One of the characters is wanting to be an influencer. There's conversations in here about performative activism. There's conversations about kind of like what it is to be a kid in this day and age. And then there's also a couple who like rents out their house to be like a sex party house. So there's just like a lot of interesting people that we're following, and it kind of almost feels to me like, at least at this point, a lot of the conversations we're having are very surface level and not a these are important issues, let's talk about them type of way. But I'll keep you guys updated on that because I'm only a quarter of the way into the book, and maybe these conversations will continue to advance as the book goes on. But I'm gonna pop these in the oven, and then we have a new book to read. I'm gonna go sit on the couch. It is time. They turned out so cute looking. I put a little icing sugar on the top. They look so good. Let's see how they taste. Cheers. That's really good. It's like a snickerdoodle, but there's apple in it. I love the chunks of apple. Oh my god, that's so good. You guys have to try these. The recipe is not hard at all. Don't be scared of the wet dough. I'm definitely gonna be making these every fall. I feel like my ears are a little tired of having headphones on, so we're gonna go sit on the couch and read our second book, which is Hemlock and Silver. This is by my favorite author, T. Kingfisher. I have to show you the end papers on here because T. Kingfisher draws all of her end papers, and this one is terrifying. Like, who is that? I do not want to know. This cover, stunning. It's this metallic hemlock thistle. It's beautiful. I also love in the chapters, there's little poison bottles. The first sentence of this book is, I had just taken poison when the king arrived to inform me that he had murdered his wife. I can't wait to find out what's going on. This is a Snow White retelling, which makes it perfect for Apple Day. There's an apple on the cover. Poison is afoot. Let's eat some apple cookies and see what's about to go down. I am 50 pages in, and I do not even want to stop and update you. I have just reached chapter 5. There is something so special about T. Kingfisher's voice as an author. If I were to explain to you the plot points of what just happened, it would not sound like it was the best thing I'd ever read, but it's the tone of the book. Like the way that T. Kingfisher can take this juxtaposition of something very dark that's happening, like we are dealing with poison and people are dying and confessing having murdered someone. Stakes are high, like dark things are happening, and yet there's still so much wit and banter and humor in here, and also so much heart. Like I immediately am so connected to our main character. I understand her motivations. I understand why she loves learning about poison. She lost someone close to her because of poison, and she became obsessed with finding out as much as she could about this thing. And I don't know, I relate to this so hard because I feel like that's the way that I go about life. Like if something hurts me or has the potential to hurt me or someone that I love, my instinct is, okay, I need to research absolutely everything so that I have the knowledge to stop this hurt from touching anyone else ever again. And that's not always a healthy thought, but the same thought that our main character had. And now she has this whole practice where she knows everything about poison and she's able to help people who have been poisoned. And the reason why she's taking poison is because it's an antidote to a different poison. Then we also have this king who shows up. His daughter is dying and he's murdered his wife. There's a lot of more complexity to that moment as well. But he's asked her to travel with him to see his daughter, who is Snow. So that's where our Snow White retelling comes in, and see what poisoned her. So I love this so much. I think this is gonna be really, really great. I love all of T. Kingfisher's books, but I feel like for a few years there, I wasn't getting 5 stars, and A Sorceress Comes to Call is 5 stars for me, and this is really feeling like it's gonna be 5 stars as well. So I'm so happy to see T. Kingfisher really knocking it out of the park again. I don't think you could pay me to keep talking to you and stop reading this, so I'm gonna get back to it. It's the final apple. Okay, here it is. Apple. It's sausage, apple, cheesy yumminess. I'm sure it's delicious. It's good.
Excellent work, Pooh Bear.
That's really good. Yummy! All the recipes are in the description, so you can enjoy them for yourselves. What was your favorite apple dish?
The cookies.
The cookies were really good.
Nothing better than your wife bringing you cookies.
What about the meals, though?
Oh, for sure this, yeah.
I guess you didn't have the middle one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I ate your Scotch egg.
Yeah. I was gonna make him lunch, and then he ate my Scotch egg instead. The last one.
By mistake.
It was malicious.
Yeah.
The sun has set on Apple Day, and I have some book updates for you. Let's start with Hemlock and Silver. We have met Snow. I'm still loving it just as much as I was 50 pages in. I'm probably about a third of the way into it now. And we have also learned how the poison apple situation plays into this. I'm going to assume that the poison apple plays a role in this, but there are 2 different types of apples in here. One of them is just a regular poison, but the other one makes you hallucinate. And that apple combined with an opiate is what people are using as drugs in these they call them lotus smoke dens. And it's a huge problem in this city because people are getting heavily addicted to it. And it's a really difficult crime to shut down. And there's a really interesting social commentary on that about how the people who are addicted to these drugs are technically criminals, and there's like a stigma against that, and our main character is reminding the people around her that it's the people who run these dens that we really need to be going after, and she's like the only one who will try to treat these people if they have an overdose and try to save their lives. And I thought that was a really, really interesting aspect of this. There's a little snake in here too. I knew there was a snake on the cover, but I didn't realize how involved the snake would be. So that's really, really cool. And once again, T. Kingfisher has a really interesting take on religion in here. I always enjoy learning about the religion systems that she has in her books because there typically always is one. And it's always very intriguing to me. So the Saint Adder is the saint that our main character is most often praying to because it is the saint of poisons. This is really good. I'm eating it up. Black River Orchard is also very, very good. I don't think I'm liking it quite as much as this, but it's definitely like not something I ever want to turn off. It is heavily apple centered. All of our different perspectives are now coming together. I'm learning things about apple trees. So apparently apples, if you take an apple, I don't know if you guys know this. I'd like heard this before, but it was very well explained in this book. If you take an apple, you take the seeds of an apple, you plant it, you grow an apple tree. Those apples are not going to taste the same as the apple that you planted the seeds from. It's random. It's like genetic roulette. So you get what a lot of people call spitters, or like really bitter apples, or apples that taste really bad. But the cool thing about it is that there can be so many different varieties of apples, and I guess we've lost a lot of these like heirloom apples because people, whether on purpose or not on purpose, lost these trees, because the only way to get an apple that's the same as the previous apple is you can't plant a new tree, but you can graft branches of an old tree onto a new tree. And so like that's how you get apples. Isn't that so cool? I did not realize how like complicated apple trees and apples were. And it's really, really interesting. There are characters in here who are like looking for lost apples. And there's a Native American character in here who is talking a lot about like native apples. And there's also conversations in here about Prohibition and Johnny Appleseed. There's just like so much going on. And it's also getting culty and weird, and people are getting obsessive about the apples, and I'm really enjoying it. These different relationships between different people are starting to break down, and it's a really fun obsession story. So I'm having a really, really good time with it. I'm a third of the way through this one. I'm about halfway through Black River Orchard. I think unfortunately, as you can see, the sun is already going down. These books were longer than I expected them to be. Black River Orchard, the audiobook, is like 22 hours long. So here's what we're gonna do. I want to fit in one more apple related activity tonight, and I haven't seen the new Snow White movie yet, so I was thinking maybe we could watch that. Oh, bless you. I was thinking maybe we could watch that. I'll give you my review, and that will be the end of Apple Day, and I'll come back on here when I finished these two books and give you my ratings and final thoughts, because I don't think it'll be worthwhile to you for me to give you much more information about these, because it'll all be spoilers anyways. Murphy says he likes that idea as long as he gets to lick my face. Okay, let's watch this movie. My review of Snow White is that Whistle While You Work is a banger, and this movie is meant for kids, and it was not my favorite thing that I have ever watched, but I am not the intended audience, so take that with a grain of salt. On brand for Apple Day, but I may or may not have read my book while it was playing in the background for the second half. I think this might be my favorite book of the year. I loved this so much. I absolutely devoured it. This book is perfect. I think if you've not read a T. Kingfisher book yet, or you've maybe read one of them and you're trying to figure out in her vast catalog of things what you should pick up, this should be the one that you read next, because it's got everything. It's got everything that I love about T. Kingfisher. There are moments in here of true horror, and they're the type of horror in here, and I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't want to spoil it. Also, don't read The Dust Jacket. It gives away way too much. Do not read The Dust Jacket. It's a Snow White retelling. That's all you need to know. If that interests you, pick up the book. Don't read The Dust Jacket. There's horror in here. It's like truly terrifying, and also has moments of humor in it because T. Kingfisher walks that line so well. There is a little romance in here, which I very much enjoyed. It is like closed door romance. There is one scene in which things get intimate, but we do not see that happen. It also has many qualities of like the rest of her retellings and her more like folklore fiction. I think it's absolutely perfect. So here's what I'll say. If you've not read T. Kingfisher before, or you've been looking to like see which of her stuff you're interested in, read this and then leave me a comment or DM me on Instagram and say, this is the part of this book that I liked. Can you recommend me a T. Kingfisher to read? And I will 100% do that for you. I am happy to report that apples do feature heavily in this. It's a Snow White retelling. Of course, the apples are going to feature heavily. I also have unlocked new fears while reading this. I'm not going to tell you what they are because I think that would be a spoiler, but this book truly deeply scared me and also was highly entertaining, and I could not stop reading this. I don't know what else to say about it. It was perfect. You just have to go read it. On a less fun note, I did finish reading Black River Orchard as well. This one was tough for me to get through. I think I'm gonna have to give it 2.75 stars at the end of the day because it was just so long. It was so long. I think if this book was half the length, I maybe could have given it 3, maybe even 4 stars, but it was just so long. And don't get me wrong, I love long books, but I was just kind of bored. There were too many people that we were following, and yes, all of their storylines interact with each other, but I just don't think we needed them all. I think we could have told the same type of story without having to spend so much time building up all of these different perspectives so that we enjoyed all of these perspectives. It was tough to get into, to get attached to all of these characters. And then there was a chunk there in the middle, last time I talked to you about this book, where I was really enjoying it. The horror was horroring, it was fun. And then it just kind of went a little off the rails, and I thought it could have done with a little bit more editing. That being said, it was the perfect book for this video because it was chock full of apples. Like, apples were the main character in this book. I love this idea of like this apple having so much history, and it's a lost apple, and we found the apple, but then something's wrong with the apple, and something's wrong with the people who eat the apple, and it's culty, and there's history, and we have like a native perspective in here. I thought it was well done for the story that the author wanted to tell. Unfortunately, it was just too long for me to keep my attention. I did really enjoy the afterword where the author is just talking about how obsessed he became with apples after trying heirloom apples, and I did learn so much about apples while reading this book, and I'm definitely going to always try to stop at farm stands and try the apples because apparently there are so many different flavors that you get in apples that like we just don't see in supermarkets because they're chosen for the supermarkets because of how long they last and how long their growing seasons are, not because of how they taste. And as a girly who loves a Honeycrisp apple, I'm curious to see what other flavors are out there. So those are the results of Apple Day. I had a great time. I hope you enjoyed following along with me. Thank you so very much for watching. Please let me know all of your favorite Apple books in the comments, and I will see you all next week for some dark academia. Bye.